Hi everyone and welcome to day one of the video backdrop challenge. Let's get started. We're going to try and work on having some really quick wins in this video challenge. So I'm going to keep things as simple and as quick as possible for you. Let's go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you to first of all just choose one wall in your house to keep things easy. Now, a lot of people think they have to have a designated room, a whole designated space, a studio. You don't. You actually only need one wall. So if you're stuck, this is a really great place to start. So let's run through some options to work for that could work for you. So I'm just going to try and keep this simple. We'll build on as the challenge goes through. We'll build on some other bigger ideas, but this is a really good one to get you going. So I want you to choose a plain wall in the house. That's one option basically. So let's go through what it could be. So you might just have a plain painted wall, or it could be a plaster wall like the one you see in this picture. It could even be a brick wall. It could be, say, a timber wall like this white one here with slats. Or you might have a glass wall or a window wall, and that's great, but you just got to be aware of the glare factor. It can be really good for natural light, but if there's some garden or greenery or something behind it, it's usually very good. But if it's very open and exposed, you might notice that you just are going to look like a silhouette against the glass. So you need to test it. So here's a tip. Try not to think it has to be perfect because we're going to work on it. I just want you to find a wall where you could actually set up a video like a tripod and your phone or an iPad, and that's going to capture you with that as the backdrop wall. So don't overcomplicate it because we're going to build up on how we would style it. Now, the second option could be you might have a wallpapered wall in your house. So having a look at some of these options, have you got a wallpapered room? Like for example, in my son's bedroom, it's wallpapered and I could easily use that. So it could be in any room. It doesn't have to be in a living space. It could just be somewhere in a bedroom, and maybe you can take your tripod and camera in there and film from there. The other thing is it could be a room with a mural. If you're lucky enough to have ordered or maybe have a big wall mural of some kind, as in the one on the bottom right here, you could also use that. That's probably least likely, but there are still people who have that, so you never know. The other option, which is the third option, is to choose an art wall, and you'll probably find these in very, many places in your house, I guess. So having a look at this first one, it could be a wall where you've got a large picture or painting like, this one in the first picture. So it could be just something simple like that. Now you can have a look there. If you drag that little stool over and sat down with that picture in the background, you're pretty much ready to go. You might need a little bit more height, a higher stool, but that's an option. Or you might have a part of your lounge room. See this picture on the right where you can, prop a chair up, and that's ready to go as well. Another option is you might have a space like this one down in the bottom left, and it might just be a little photograph or a picture wall. The other option could be even, black and white photos like this one on the right here. Now, if you haven't got anything like this set up, there's no reason why you mightn't be able to do this yourself. This one in the bottom left, for example, you might have lots of pictures hanging around the house that you could collage like this, or old photos and things. And really looking at that, it's just a chair and one simple tiny little table. It's very straightforward. So we call that an art gallery wall. And you can have a photo wall. The other thing is a beautiful wall hanging or a macrame, something that takes up a lot of space on the wall, which would be really lovely as well. So then I want you to start to add these elements. Once you've chosen a wall, have a look at how simple I've kept this. A chair or a stool, a small table or a sideboard, and then a plant. So have a look at that. Just try and keep it to a minimum if you just have a few elements. The chair and the little side table, or the chair and the plant, that's so straightforward. That's a plain white wall, and it's a really simple thing to implement. Some of them get a little bit more detailed as they go through, but hopefully that gives you some ideas. So just try and add those three elements. The reason I say the plant is it just brings a little life to the photo and the photo frame or the video frame, because what I find is a lot of times you look at people's videos and there's no life or personality about it. It looks like a bland office, and everything's kind of lifeless. The plant just adds that vibrancy and life to it. You just want to be careful that it doesn't look like the plant's growing out of the top of your head. So preferably not putting it behind your chair, and so it looks like it's growing out of your head. So you always just practice, put the plant there, and then I just take a little photograph or I video a little section, and then I look at it and then I reassess and think, oh, the plant needs to move, etc. The same goes for any of the items behind you. If it looks like something's coming out of your ears or something like that, you need to change it. Now, I've created, and I spent quite a bit of time doing this because I wanted to create a board just for, ideas on backdrop. And so if you go into my Pinterest at Carmen Darwin 1, then I've created a whole board for backboards and backdrops, which I've taken what I think are the pick of them because there's some ugly ones. In the next few challenges coming up, we'll have lots and lots of other ideas for you, but I just want to let you know that I have done that. And it's called, this one here, I've got her video backdrop ideas. So I've gone through and collected what I think are some of the nicest. And they're not only things you can buy, but they're also ideas of decor and that you can implement. But don't panic too much about that yet. I just thought that was there for visual inspiration. But in the next 4 days of challenges, I'll take you through all the different options that are available to you. So you might want to create a vision board, get a few ideas going on Pinterest. I love that. I think you can get a real feel for how that's going to work for your brand and what looks lovely, what will look lovely in your space. What is your ideal that you're working towards, I guess. So find a spot in your home. This is your first challenge, and get some ideas down on paper. And look, even better still, go and drag some furniture in front of that little wall and see if you can take a photo of it and send it to us on in a Facebook group and show off, because we love people who show off. All right, so that's it. A bit of tough love. Don't overcomplicate this. Keep it simple. Just will make progress on one really simple idea. Okay, don't find you've got to go out and start buying stuff. Just see if what you've got there that you can make do with. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. Just start with something. So you get the picture. I want you to have a go, and then head to the Facebook group and do a bit of a brag about what you create. But a before and after would be even better, because what happens when we do this is it inspires other people, and they say, oh, actually, that's given me an idea. I could do that. Oh, I've got that sort of furniture. I could do that. So it's that, in that spirit of sharing, it's not really about showing off. It's really about sharing what you've got and what you've done and what somebody else might be able to do. So that's it. I want you to take action now, implement the idea, and feel great about yourself, and show us what you came up with. All right, that's the end of the first challenge. I will see you back here again tomorrow, and leave your comments below. Bye.